Hey young friends, Dr. Bill here. As always, I'm glad that you've chosen to spend a few minutes of your time with me. As we continue to work through our Big Names in the Bible series, we're taking yet another look at the prophet Jeremiah. Today's story comes to us from Jeremiah chapter 29. Before we jump into that, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been someplace you didn't want to be? Maybe in your life you've moved from one place to another, from one town to another town. And when you move to that new town, you're a stranger. You don't know anybody. You don't know where things are. It's all really confusing. And you may find yourself saying, I just wish I was back home. I like home so much more. The same thing can happen to us if we change schools. All of a sudden we're strangers. We don't know anybody. We don't have any friends. We don't know the teachers. And it's all really very, very uncomfortable as we try to learn our way around and as we try to make friends and as we try to get adjusted to our new surroundings. Oftentimes when we have those kinds of experiences, we simply say, I hate being here. This is not where I want to be. And because of that, we take our time settling down. We may refuse to unpack our bags. And by that, I mean we may refuse to accept the fact that we are in a new place. We may do a lot of griping and complaining. We can say, I just wish I was back home. Things were so much better there. And we refuse to settle in. Well, that's exactly what was going on in Jeremiah chapter 29. In this chapter, the situation is this. Finally, the Babylonians have defeated the Israelites. Jerusalem, the city, has fallen, and the Babylonians have come and they have taken a lot of the people of Israel and they have carried them off to this strange land, this place called Babylon. The temple is no more. The people are in a new country with strange customs, strange ways. They don't know anything about how to get along. They don't know the language. They just are lost in this new place. And so, like it is for us when we have to move to a new town or go to a new school, they kept thinking, I just wish we were back home. I don't like being here. And as a result, for the people of Israel, they began thinking to themselves, well, maybe we won't be here for a long time. Maybe this is just temporary. And so in their own way, they began to say, well, we're not going to really make much of an effort to make our homes here because we hope, we pray that we'll be able to go back to our homeland really, really soon. Well, Jeremiah got word of the fact that the people in Babylon, his Hebrew brothers and sisters, that they were thinking this way and they were talking this way. So Jeremiah penned them a letter and he said, listen, this is not going to end soon. You're going to be there for a long, long time. And so Jeremiah in the letter, in essence, said to those people, you just need to go ahead and unpack your bags and settle down. You need to live here as though you're going to live here forever. And so he encouraged them to do all of the normal things that people would do wherever they are. He said, settle down. Have your families, have children, have grandchildren. See your grandchildren get married. Do all of those normal things. Start your business. Do whatever it takes to make a living. Just make your home where you are. Oh, you may wish you could go back home, but the truth is that's not going to happen for a long time. And you have to stay where you are and go about life as it is, not as you wish it to be. Well, there's several lessons that we can draw from what Jeremiah was saying to the people of Israel. The first, wherever we go, we have to make the best of it. Wherever we go, we have to realize that's where we are. Those are our circumstances, and sometimes they're just not going to change. And so the idea is, as the old saying goes, we have to learn to bloom where we're planted. We have to learn to thrive wherever we are. In other words, we can't let our circumstances, we can't let external things affect how we go about living and how well we live. We have to learn to bloom where we're planted and do the best that we can. And then as well, Jeremiah said, if you do this, if you go about your business in the normal way, that's an opportunity for you to bear witness. That's an opportunity for you to demonstrate your faithfulness to people who do not know God. And so in making homes, settling down, going about their business, Jeremiah said, you will be working for the good of the community in which you live. Accept where you are, make the best of it, and you will give a witness to God's goodness and to God's power. In other words, where you are, that's where you have to learn how to be faithful. And then as well, this story reminds us that we simply sometimes just have to face up to reality. Sometimes our circumstances just won't bend. They won't change. No matter how much we wish they would, no matter how hard we try to make things the way they used to be, that's just not going to happen. Wishing something doesn't make it so. And so every now and then we simply have to realize we are where we are. We have to face that reality and come to grips with it. Well, that's the lesson I take from Jeremiah's letter to the exiles. I encourage you, if you have a moment, to read the chapter. It's not all of that long. Matter of fact, if you read the first 13 or 14 verses, you'll have the whole story there. As always, I encourage you, if you have any questions, to give me a call, send me an email or a text, whatever. I'd be glad to answer any question you have or respond to you in any way. As always, I'm glad that you had took the time to be with me today. I wish you a really good rest of the week, and I pray God's blessings upon you. You take care. Bye-bye.